There's only one place to be after the hunt. The Skinning Shed with Fuel Outdoor Gear.
Presented by Mathews Archery and Grizzly Coolers.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Jason.
What's up?
Welcome back to the Skinning Shed.
Glad to
Everybody's
be.
excited.
It's good to be back.
Glad to be
Is
here.
it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad y'all are back.
Well, thank you.
I mean,
Well, it's
Bittersweet.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave, but it is good to come home.
Yeah, it was.
Always good to come home.
It's a good time.
We'll address the fact that Ren's not here. He's
we're
Where
not
is he?
I don't know. I'm tired of everybody being gone except for me.
me.
Are we gonna do that tonight?
No, we're not doing that.
I'm gonna do it.
Ren decided for some reason in the middle of hunting season, I still ain't figured this one out, to go to Hawaii with his wife. He originally said he was going to go hunt, but she shot that down. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just what he told us.
Yes.
his
He was trying to
boys.
get me to go.
He told his boys that.
Yeah. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to hunt.
Axis deer? Is that what he's gonna do?
He said axis deer.
So hang on. So opening day of deer season,
He's at a wedding.
he's in
Wilmington.
Wilmington at some
Yeah.
floozy doozy wedding, right?
Yep.
And now the 1st of October,
He's
in Hawaii.
he's in Hawaii.
Who is this guy?
I'm telling you.
I don't think he's serious.
I don't either.
He's not committed.
Well, you know, the October lull happens. He goes to Hawaii.
Oh, give me a break.
October.
Yeah.
My favorite terminology ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's lulling.
Anyway.
I do think there's a law, but I mean, that's just me.
Just a lull because you ain't out there.
That's right.
No, I'm out there.
Oh,
The deer ain't out there. They done lulled somewhere else.
They in Hawaii.
boo-hoo.
Shut up, Brandon.
Anyway, we're back together. So
We are.
We do
Yeah.
miss you
I'm
guys.
glad y'all are back.
Well, thank
Me
you.
too.
I'm so happy to see you.
Although he was talking complete junk when y'all were gone.
Come on.
No, I wasn't.
For real?
Y'all, if you want to go back, it's on YouTube or
seen it.
Spotify.
I listened to it.
Yeah.
Were you talking crap?
No.
What did you say, Chuck? I didn't listen to it.
I said I was jealous.
We'll talk later.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I said I was jealous. I mean, who would not be jealous? You're hunting elk.
He said, I hope y'all catch a cold.
I did not
He did say that.
No, I did
Yes,
not.
you did. And guess what?
Chuck called,
Chuck called
Chuck,
it.
bro, I'm sorry.
He caught the COVID.
That's whatever, man.
I called a cold too, and I got what I deserved.
Yeah. Yeah.
You said that. You actually said
I
Yeah.
think I said that. I really
Dude.
don't.
You
I
should
promise
plug
you.
that in right there.
Okay. We'll make a note. Where's this?
plugged.
2 minutes,
2:58.
3 minutes. All right, 3 minute mark.
Plug that
Mental
in.
note.
Okay.
All right. Obviously, which we haven't even addressed. The Chuck's not here. Nick's not here.
Yeah, I didn't really want to talk about them. I'm a little jealous, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of jealous.
Yeah, we
They're-
just leave it untouched.
They're on their way to Idaho to go kill an elk.
Didn't
or two.
invite me.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean,
I hope they get a
I hope they
massive.
yeah, I hope they get a cold. I mean, a big elk. I really do. No, I truly hope that they
Oh,
kill
I
it.
can't wait to
Yeah.
hear the story when they come back.
Got it.
I
I'm
heard
pretty
it.
sure I didn't say
I had to
that.
listen to it like 3 times. I'm like,
Did he really say that? He did.
I didn't say that.
and there I was.
Brandon, I appreciate you not
Yeah.
talking.
I didn't say
junk.
that. I was like, I'm happy for y'all. I'm glad you get to go, and I wished you the best of luck.
Yeah.
On the other hand, my co-host, he did not wish you luck. But anyways, we're going to talk
Well,
about that.
it was
He
fun.
did
so-
afterwards. I will say
He did,
that.
he did.
He come back later.
He did.
Well, of course I did. I wanted y'all to kill something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saddened, when I found out you didn't, but
Yeah. Well, we got close.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It was fun.
That's what we're diving into today.
Yeah.
The trip.
Well, before we do, because I got to listen to the podcast today on my travels. A
Okay.
couple things I want to address.
Oh,
What
that
else
you,
did I
that you
say?
brought up when I wasn't here? Cell cameras conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We did that on purpose.
That was strategic.
Yeah,
We
we
did have a
couldn't
talk.
have you in that conversation.
Yeah, no joke. And then some tard from Oklahoma.
Oh, shots fired.
Yeah.
We didn't say
That was a
where.
pretty good one.
We didn't say where this
Yeah.
dude was from or anything, so you just
Well,
outed him.
Thanks a lot, Chuck.
Whatever.
Well, I don't care.
It's all the same.
Yeah. You
So-
didn't get to hear it, but
I didn't
I'll
hear.
tell you
I need to go
afterwards.
back.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you
go back and
afterwards.
listen.
Yeah.
Do you want to address anything about what was said?
Um,
Chime in.
Well, yeah, I mean, you pretty much covered it. You don't depend on your cell cameras or your cameras in general
Solely.
solely to say I'm going hunting or not going hunting. You go and enjoy yourself, and
Yeah.
that's it. As far as the other gentleman, I'd say you should have kicked him right out.
I wanted to.
I got to go back and listen.
Yeah.
You got
No, I mean,
I'll fill you in.
I'm just saying, that's pretty bold
Yeah.
just to waltz in and being from out of state and start putting down, I guess you would say, what we got going on here in North Carolina. So
Oh. Yeah.
yeah,
So basically, talk junk about me.
kind of bragging. He was kind of bragging a little bit.
Oh, came in the shop.
But
Oh.
I
Yeah.
mean, the shop was packed.
Right.
Came in and basically disgraced my deer.
not wanting to open up another can of worms. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Today and the
I
day
needed
to
my
do
2
that shit.
cents in there.
Yeah, well, you weren't here to talk about it, so
Yeah.
now you can.
I just heard it's on purpose. So we'll do it.
Okay.
We'll do a cell cam conversation another time.
No, we won't.
Yeah, we can't do one with you, Chuck.
No, we won't.
Well, I mean,
I got one.
No, I think that
you
is-
ain't ever have you put it out
No,
yet?
it's still in the box.
It doesn't work.
turns out it takes batteries.
I mean,
I just hadn't got to it yet. I've been busy. Yeah.
I think we should go into that at some point,
Yeah.
but not today.
No. Okay. Back.
Oh, I'm not
back,
trying to divert the conversation, but
Okay,
that's
back
a good
to elk.
topic.
Back to the elk hunting trip. Then
Yeah.
that's a better topic anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun.
How long are y'all gone?
As always.
I know. Tell the listeners.
10 days
10
total.
days?
Yeah.
Yep. 10 days. 10 good days. The weather was absolutely perfect. Got a little bit warm there in the middle, but not too bad at all. Not too bad at all.
Yeah.
It was just perfect.
Yeah. So like 65 for the high.
Yeah.
and you didn't kill shit. So that's the end of the podcast.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Tune in next time.
Tune in next year.
Tune in next year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you mentioned, I think on another episode, like you went to a different unit. Is that right?
I
This go
did.
around. You said that.
I went to a different unit.
Okay.
That's where Nick's been going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So the last time y'all went to a different unit.
That was
Yeah.
devoid of elk.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Of life. Of general.
We did-
actually.
Other than
I
a
think
fire
we-
tower.
Other than a fire tower.
And there's a one grouse named Emily.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So the first time that Chuck was able to go, we just didn't get the tag that we wanted. And we had to, we went to another unit. It was horrible. I say it was horrible. I mean, that country it was northern Idaho it was just gorgeous. So like being out there, that's
Yeah.
in and itself
Lewis and Clark
Just-
Trail come
just
through.
fun.
And
Yeah, I mean it was just beautiful country. No elk. We ended up the last 2 days of our hunt, we were like we're packing up. So we
Which is crazy.
a friend of ours.
I mean, that's it. It has to be horrendous if you're willing to pack up 2 days.
They shouldn't even sell tags for that unit. That's how bad it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember y'all
they
saying that.
they
I
really
mean,
shouldn't.
Yeah.
And that's not being jerks. Like they literally just shouldn't.
I think
Well, didn't you
Shouldn't do
say somebody like one of the game or what did he do?
the guy in the fire tower.
The fire tower.
Mm-hmm.
He told you, "Oh, there ain't no elk here."
Yeah, he was like, no, man, I hadn't heard any elk.
Seen a bear?
Yeah,
I'm like, you had to have heard some bugling.
yeah.
Like, you're 100 feet in the air,
Yeah.
And he was like, nope. So I think that was really the breaking point where we were like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Matthew, a friend of ours, still had a tag in the unit that we originally wanted to go to. So we called him, and we were like, "Are you going to be hunting the last few days?" He said, "Yeah, I'm going to go back up and try to, you know." I'm like, "Well, we're coming. We're just going to." It was like a 3-hour drive south, and we met him in his unit, and we set up camp for the 5th time or so. And so we went out with him and called and had a good time.
Yeah.
So now this year or the other week, Chuck and I got tags for the unit that we wanted to get, and I'd been hunting for, I think it was like 7 years now. I've been going, and my good friend Randy Stoppenhagen, who I met in the hunting industry, we were at the NWTF show in Nashville when I first met him. We hit it off, and by the end of that show, he was like, "Hey, if you ever want to come elk hunting, you call me." And I'm like, "Brother, you need to be careful about who you invite, because like I'm gonna call you." And so I did, and we hit it off. He's a great guy. And then after several years of hunting with him, Chuck helped me do a show at the Harrisburg show in Pennsylvania. Grueling 9 days. You came up for the last few, and you met Randy. And so anyway, Randy was like, "Yeah, if your uncle wants to come hunt, come on, and it'd be great." So he's known as Uncle Chuck in elk camp.
Yeah.
And
It was nice.
he does. So I introduced him. This is my Uncle Chuck. And one of the guys in camp was like, "I got an Uncle Chuck too. He's like 90 years old."
Did you say Chuck's right there with you?
Close. Not far behind.
So anyway, everybody calls Chuck Uncle
Yeah.
Chuck.
Yeah, and Randy, just a great guy, hell of an elk caller. I mean, the dude, and knows, he knows that area, just the ins and outs of it, like it's unreal. I mean,
he's hunted it for a long time.
Yeah, but he is a super good dude, and like I said, just a good guy to hunt with, spend camp with, and a very gracious host.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hell of a storyteller.
Oh my gosh.
This dude just keeps you in stitches the whole time.
Yeah, it's unreal. This dude can tell a story.
He's hilarious.
He has all these facial expressions. I mean, you just have to see it. It's unreal.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So we did a podcast with him a few years ago. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I was out there. I guess it was just y'all three, and we just called in and talked, and that was the first. It was the first bull I'd shot and found. Actually completed the whole process. So we talked about that, but that was fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, the weather was great. Camping in the Idaho mountains is enough. Like, that's just fun.
Yeah.
But to go out and
beautiful
see
country.
Yeah. To go out and on public ground, and you know, we were in elk almost every day. There was maybe 2 days or so that we were just, you know, we might have heard some bugles first thing, but they'd shut up. And so there was a lot of fires around in the adjoining units. Actually, there was a fire in our unit, so it pushed a lot of hunters elsewhere, obviously. So about midweek, man, it just seemed like the mountain filled up with hunters.
Yeah, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
Just like they just
They were
Now,
everywhere.
do you think that's just the fires, or do you think that's more like all these other states not allowing elk hunters, and so they're going everywhere they can possibly find to get a tag and
maybe, but they're these units, it is over the counter, but there is an allotment, so there's a cap on it, so they don't just sell however many tags they can sell. So like, I don't know.
Do you know if that unit was sold out?
Oh yeah, it sold out in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and
it's amazing.
It's like a Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah, the way they do their
What did you just say?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Taylor Swift.
You need to take them glasses off. You don't deserve to wear them.
I don't have glasses on.
Like that.
Carry on.
The way they do their non-res tag selling process is, I mean, I hate to complain, but
Yeah.
they put you in a queue online randomly. So, you could have been first in the logged in and ready, and but the way it's like they shuffle it all up and they go, okay, you are number 12,422, and you're like, I'm not getting my tag, and you're not.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy.
because like Chuck said, there's an allotment. They will
So
sell out. But
how were y'all able to get a tag?
That's a secret.
I mean,
yeah, that's top secret.
okay.
We'll tell you.
It's perfectly legal.
It is.
I will
legal.
say that.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything sketchy,
No.
but we found a loophole.
We'll tell you
Hey, use 'em.
off the air. I'm sorry. but That's just.
I mean,
I'm
we just
sorry
can't
I
let
brought
this
it up.
information
No.
out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry I brought it up.
no,
I mean,
it's
I didn't-
okay. We'll tell
No,
you.
serious business.
I just thought y'all needed to play the lottery or something. I mean,
Yeah, no, we figured it out.
Yeah.
It worked this time. If it works next time, I may tell you then. No, I'll tell you later. But
It's seriously. I mean, it's these. Like Nick and I were logged on, right, doing our thing, and you were literally probably 12,000 or something.
Oh my God!
Man down.
You said literally I went to get my drink. Carry on.
Man down. Cut him off
My
over there.
bubbly. My bubbly.
Cut
you
you
good?
off.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. You said literally, and I was like,
Gotcha. Yeah. But yeah, we did find a loophole. But just like Nick was saying, we logged in early. I think he was literally
Yeah, I was
12,000 something. I was higher than he was. I was like in the 14s.
this is the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first time. This is when we could not get.
Yeah, I remember you telling me like you were like way past him, and he was far back as it was
Yeah.
anyway. It's like, this is
Yeah.
impossible.
It was
And
impossible.
so really, you just sit there and you wait on the screen to say certain
Yeah.
unit is sold out.
And I mean,
And that's what we did. We were like, well, we're done.
like they go on sale at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. So you're sitting there at 12 o'clock, and like within the first few minutes, boom, sold out. Boom, sold out. They just start listing them. Boom, sold out.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll pause for a minute, and then it'll just boom, sold out, sold out, sold out. And it could be whitetail, it could be
it's
mule deer.
That's the thing. It's everybody. It's
Yeah.
not just elk hunters trying to get in there. But so anyway, we finally got a tag with the unit that, and this is not some special unit or anything. It's just what I've hunted, and Randy's hunted for years and years, and he knows it well. And it's pretty fun to go hunt, with somebody that knows,
oh yeah.
So like I said, the weather was great. Very first night or evening that we hunted, we flew in. We got in late the night before
Thursday night.
Friday morning, Randy picked us up and we took off up the mountain, and we messed around a little bit. And I've never had an issue with it, but the difference in elevation can mess with you.
Yeah.
But so we always just hang out at camp, and we normally have things to do. So we were opening camp back up and pulling things out and setting tables and blah, 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 blah. So we try to mess around just to make sure nobody's feeling weird. But we ended up going out that evening, and I was the caller, which is rare because Randy does like to call. So, but didn't he mention, like, I don't think anybody's ever called in an elk for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
he did.
Like, well, get your ass down there in the timber, and
And I will say,
I'll try.
But
Nick's
yeah, I was gonna say
he's an excellent caller.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
well-
I've heard you're an excellent caller, so I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, I don't know about that, but I can make some elk sounds. They
Me
might
too.
be on the spectrum. Elk, but,
He's a great caller.
so Chuck goes in. So we put together a plan. The wind's doing this, and we're like, all right, we're going to have a hunter here and a hunter down here, and I'm going to be calling. And I don't know, we weren't there 25, 30 minutes, and I'm there's a stump, big stump in front of me, and I've got my bow setting up on that, and I'm ready, and I'm calling, and I mean, there's always the potential of elk coming in to you, but you know, your plan is you're calling to this area, and the elk will be. So I'm just kind of hands in the pocket, looking around, just calling and carrying on, and I think I might have bugled once, and then I hear just snap, crack, pop like behind me. I mean, and when elk are coming, or because it's not like they make a lot of racket, but they can come in silent too. It's crazy. So I turn, and here's this bull, and he's coming. He's like 25 yards, and he's upwind of me. Like, I'm like, he didn't know I'm in the world. And so I grab my bow, and he kind of works around these trees, and he's heading down to where Chuck and Randy are set up. And I'm not exactly sure where they are. I can't see them, but I know they're in that direction. And he stops behind a tree, draw back, and he's literally 25 yards.
I'm not touching this because I'd knock it over.
He's 25 yards, and he steps out of from behind the tree, and I cow call. He stops, and I didn't say it.
It's rough.
It came to mind. We have the wind. He doesn't know I'm in the world. He doesn't know they're in the, because the way the wind's going.
Right.
And he's heading down. I'm like, how cool would it be for Chuck to shoot an elk on the first night? Because he would have. Like, we weren't trophy hunting, So I let down, and he walks off, and he gets out of sight, and I'm just going, please, please, please. And like 10 seconds later, clack, slack, he comes running back up. I'm like, well, shit, that didn't work. And so what had happened was he just started working down towards Randy, and it was pretty windy that evening. And Randy was like, I think I hear something. And he turns his head, and that was it.
The caught that movement and locked up and took off.
Yeah, and he came right back up, and I could have killed him again. And so I start hearing more elk that like with him, and I start catching glimpses of elk moving by, and then I hear a half bugle, and so I didn't shoot him, and then they worked on. So that was kind of the first evening.
Yeah.
And Chuck walks up to the hill. He says, "Did you shoot?" I said, "No, I didn't shoot."
Yeah.
Well, I could have, and I was hoping one of you guys would. But
that's not what you said right at that moment.
Oh, well.
I walked up there and I said, because I heard the elk spook. It sounds like a freaking horse running through the woods. I mean, seriously. So we go back up there, and I said, "You shoot?" And he said, "No." He said, "I could have." I said, "You let that thing go by, didn't you?" He said, No, I didn't let it go by. He said, "I couldn't get a shot," or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Randy comes up there talking about, he said, "Man, just a few more steps." He said, "I'd have smoked that sucker and been done."
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was fun. I mean, that was my very first encounter.
So you didn't, where you didn't get to see this elk,
No,
right?
but he was literally coming right. I mean, he would have passed me at 15, 20 yards.
So he was kind of splitting Randy and Chuck. But
Yeah,
Randy,
he was angling down the
caught
road.
Randy moving.
Was it a good bull?
It was a spike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was a big spike, actually.
Yeah.
But
A 1x1.
yeah. Randolph County 11-pointer.
Hey,
right.
my favorite kind.
Hey, I don't care. I just shot
No,
that crap
and
out.
honestly, I did not pass the bull because I was like, oh, he's not big enough. The only reason I did that was just again, the wind was so good. I was like, he's going to walk down there,
Yeah.
and somebody will get a shot. And I was hoping Randy, for sure, but he's killed several elk. I was really hoping Chuck would get a shot.
Well, I appreciate that. Too.
Well, yeah, I mean, but whatever.
It was fun.
That never happens
Yeah.
the way you want it to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was jacked.
Yeah, he was excited, which was cool for me to.
Yeah.
Because the last trip, literally there was no elk, no life of
Yeah.
anything.
I mean, first evening, we've been there a few hours. I mean,
I just want to bring it up.
Do you understand how hard it is to not say literally?
It's harder for me right now.
I know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all made so much fun of me, but it's hard to not say it.
It is.
Literally.
I dumped Topo Chico all over my boots, and
Oh Lord.
Well,
I was excited for a second. I karate chopped
Clearwater.
this
you did.
Grizzly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Topo Chico.
I love it, man.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's real good.
Yeah. Yeah. That I was no joke. I was jacked after that. I mean, had a hard time going to sleep, and then I finally went to sleep. Had a conversation with myself, according to Nick.
Oh my God.
You talking in his sleep?
Oh my God. This dude.
I'm so happy.
It's comical.
It calmed down.
Okay.
He did calm down.
Is this like a recurring thing for you?
I don't know.
It is.
Well, I guess not. You're asleep.
It happened last
does?
time too.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it's just
Maybe it's the elevation or something.
different
I don't
surroundings.
know, but you can hear it coming. he builds up to
You
it.
get wound up.
Yeah. If it starts with moving, like you can just hear, and then it's, like, and I don't know what the hell he says, but he just rambles on. And then it's nothing, and I'm going, what is going on? And then, like every morning, I'd say, "Did you sleep good?" "Yeah, slept pretty good." Who the hell are you talking to? It's funny.
Yeah.
But then it had calmed down.
Oh yeah.
But I really can't talk because I've got a bunch of stories of when I'm in strange places sleeping.
Yeah, I've heard. I've never witnessed it, but I've heard about them.
I've taken shit off the wall in the middle of the night.
Dude, what's wrong with y'all?
So, a quick story. My brother and I went down to the eastern part of North Carolina and hunted. We were hunting whitetails, but we were hunting on this big blueberry farm. And during blueberry season, they have a single wide trailer that a lot of their Mexicans that help them get the blueberries in. They stay there. It's a nice place. And so my brother and I were sleeping in one room, and my stepdad was in another room. So there's like two twin beds, and they're like this. Anyway, I'm dreaming that the whole the whole roof is falling in on us. And so I stand up in my bed, and I'm screaming at Marcus, just get up in the middle of the night. And I'm pushing up on the ceiling. Well,
Oh my God.
He's in a sleeping bag. He can't get out of it. So he's like fumbling around, and he falls out of the bed, and he reaches up. This was when we had flip phones. He reaches up on the nightstand. He flips his. He's like, "What? What?" And then I'm like, I kind of come to, and I'm like, "Never mind, never mind, my bad." And so I just go back to sleep. And then the next morning, alarm clock goes off. And he's like, "What the hell were you doing last night?" I saved your life, brother.
I was holding the ceiling.
The ceiling was
up all
falling in on. So I got a bunch of stories like that my dad could tell even when I was a kid. So, but it was funny that it wasn't me; it was Chuck this time.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the deal is, but anyway,
I've been meaning to talk to Missy about that.
yeah,
I was going to say, yeah, maybe we need to have Missy
she
on the
don't know.
podcast.
She's
out.
She's out before I even get in the bed half the time. So, but
Man, I thought you were bad.
anyway.
I know, right?
You
Evidently, no,
No, he just
I
snores.
talk by snoring.
Snoring, yeah.
I
Sounds like a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So evidently, when we were in West Virginia the last time, I decided at lunchtime to go take a nap, which I was coming down with something. I could kind of tell I was coming down with something. So I went up here to take a nap. Evidently, the family we stay with and everybody else
We were all
downstairs.
downstairs. And man,
Walls were rattling.
it's like, then stops. I'm like, dude, what is happening? And he cuts the air down to like 62.
Oh my
I
god!
can't even
the day.
stay up there. It's freezing cold.
I
so
like
like
it
there's
cold.
Oh, it was.
I
Cold.
do too, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a little
Yeah.
chilly.
No, it wasn't.
But yeah, I'll take snoring over conversation any day.
I don't know. It's pretty funny.
It's funny.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was.
So yeah, that was first eating.
Mm-hmm. First, I mean, just bam, right off the get go.
Yeah, you got to be jacked. Like it's like, man, it's uphill from here.
Well, yeah, and then we get up next morning, have a really good breakfast, before we go out, and of course Randy and Nick strategizing on where we're going, what we're going to do, and that changes like.
So
4
now,
or
do
5
y'all go
different
out
times.
at before daylight?
Yeah.
So you had breakfast before daylight?
Yeah.
Yeah, we tried something different this year.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it was good,
Good.
but just not.
I'm not used to
what
that.
I'm used to, not what Chuck's used to, and I don't think it's not what Randy's used to. Because
I can't-
I've hunted with him for a long time. We've never got up scrambled eggs and
Yeah,
ate.
I mean breakfast.
That's correct.
But we talked about it. He was like, I think we ought to try. Oh, that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that only lasted a few.
3 days.
Yeah. And it was like,
Cup of coffee.
like just a cup of coffee is good.
Yeah. But yeah, they strategize and then figure out a plan, and then we take off on the machine. And
So in Idaho, you can use a machine on public land.
Yeah.
So
you got to stay pretty much on the designated trails, from what I understand.
Well, but I'm sure that still helps out if you kill a
Oh,
bull.
oh,
or
there's-
elk
wow,
or whatever.
yeah.
This piece is roaded pretty good, like the road, the
Which is
roads are-
good and bad.
Yeah,
But,
if you kill one, it's great.
yeah. But it's really accessible.
yeah.
So a lot of people like to go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But so we get up to the spot, and Randy's gonna call this time. He puts me down the bench a little ways, and he just go down there and find you a spot. I'm gonna back up here. Nick went off my left shoulder, back up that way, and the bench is pretty flat on top. What would you say? It's 50 yards wide on top,
Yeah.
and it just drops off. This side drops way off. This side just kind of goes into just a little saddle looking place. But this side just, and then there's another ridge that I later seen, a finger ridge that goes off of that stretches out there pretty good ways.
Mm-hmm.
And so what Nick said a while ago about they can be super loud, but they can be super quiet. And the wind again is blowing pretty good this morning. So we actually went to the other spot first.
We
didn't
did. So this was later in the morning.
Yeah, we went to where we had that encounter the day before.
Yeah, we went back there the next morning.
Yeah.
It was crickets there.
Yeah.
So.
So we left there and went to this spot I'm just telling you about. And so I'm set up, and rookie elk hunter, the deer hunter in you comes out, and you're like, I need something to break up my outline. And so I'm standing in front of the tree.
So he's backed into this tree. He's got limbs all the way around him.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, they're kind of
It's not that bad, but
no, they're kind of hanging down. I did have a hole right there that I said, okay, I can shoot right through this hole here, but otherwise it's just limbs hanging off this fir tree. But I still got all this for about 50 yards, and the wind's coming across this way, and from my left to right, and so he's up there calling. He'd been calling for a while, and I've been holding my bow the whole time, just ready to roll. And the arm here started getting tired, so I just set the bow down and had the cam just sitting on the top of my boot, and I'm just standing there looking around, just enjoying everything, and all of a sudden, man, just right off to my left, this just kind of real soft, but just beautiful. I'm like, oh, and when I just like, same thing with Randy. I turned my head and looked, and he's right there, 25, 30 yards, and he went, foop, and just looked right at me.
he was like mid-bugle.
Yeah,
Chuck moved, and
yeah.
there he was at
And
like
he
20
was,
yards. And he came in super quiet.
Oh, I never heard him. I mean, if he hadn't have bugled, he could have walked right past me. I don't know if I'd have known it.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he popped the stick once he got by me, but just a beautiful. I mean, he wasn't no massive 5x5. He's just a nice 5x5. And he was young, judging by his body. He locked on me. I had the wind, so I thought, okay, everything I've seen on YouTube, and I've watched a lot of it, just ask my family. Everything I've seen on YouTube, as long as you don't move and they can't smell you, and Randy's up there calling, so Randy would cow call, and he was just locked on me, and Randy would cow call, and he'd look up at Randy, and he'd look back at me. I'm like, he's going to lose interest, and he's going to just keep on going, and I'm going to be able to shoot through this hole here, quartering away. No, it did not.
YouTube lied.
Man, imagine that.
But he looked at me, and he looked at Randy, and he looked at me, and then he kind of just took 2 steps back, and he looked at Randy, and looked back at me, and he just kind of all at once. Now, even if he'd have stopped right here, this is where the rookie part comes in especially, I couldn't have shot him because these limbs were just like right here. Now, they're not thick, but you can't shoot through them.
Right.
They're just like hanging off the tree, like a fir tree. And I'm just sitting there staring at him, and he took 2 steps back, spun broadside, stopped, looked at me one more time, whoop, and just went. I never even heard him leave.
Yeah.
He went right back over the hill. And
So I heard him bugle.
yeah.
I was like, was that an elk or did we just call in a hunter, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So here we are, one evening, excitement. Next morning, excitement. I'm like, good gosh, man, it's freaking awesome. And of course, you know, I've been around long enough. I know it's, you know, ain't gonna stay that way the whole time. But man, I was jacked right there. I'm like, I'm done.
yeah.
You know, if I get a shot from here on out, that's just icing on. It's icing on the cake anyway.
Right.
But now that's one of the things I wanted to do is a bull bugle like right there at me, and then to see him. I mean, he was beautiful. I mean, just and yeah.
Yeah. It was,
I mean, I wasn't going to notch a tag or nothing, but I mean, it was. My trip was made right there. Just wasn't going to do nothing to get better after that, and pretty much did. But yeah, that I was even more jacked after that.
so that
Did he talk about it in his sleep that night?
maybe that's what he was gibbering
I mean, I didn't know if it was
about.
2 nights in a row. Like he was
Yeah.
so happy that he.
I think that was just from being in a weird place, like a strange environment. But about
I'm warding off the demons. That's what
he's yeah.
Incantations.
Yeah.
3 days in, he started to settle in. But that particular place, we call it Surprise Ridge. And it's funny that happened to you because very first time Randy and I walked up there, we called and we were standing there with our not an arrow knock, just standing there. And we're like, you know, we bugled and snap, crack. We're like, crap. And we're stuck because, I mean, it's too late. And this bull, this raghorn bull, does the same thing that bull did to you. Walks right up there. And we're standing on the trail, you know? So, you got to be, you can't get lazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, well, let's just run up here and call, see if we can get one to bugle. Well, you might, but you may just call one right into you. So, always be get ready, you know.
I think what's tough too is like you think in your head like this is a massive animal. It's gonna make a lot of noise. I'm gonna hear it. I'm gonna have time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they just sneak up on you. And you're
Oh,
like, oh dang it! Yeah.
It's amazing.
It really
It's
is.
unreal.
And so that happened twice to us. And so that's why we called that Surprise Ridge.
It's a fitting
That's
name.
what we named. And then we take Chuck, and it's like there's always a bull in there,
Mhm.
and nobody's ever like really ready. But
You just need to be at full draw 100% of the time
You
on
just hold
Surprise
it.
Ridge.
Well, it's funny because the next setup we did, I think we stayed there for a little while and kind of looked at things. I mean, it made sense to me after everything was said and done. I walked over and looked down. I mean, there's nothing but just pine needles down through there. I'm like, oh, well, between that, the wind was blowing hard and he's coming up and over. I'm like, you know, he'd had to step on a log, I think, for me to hear him before he got to the top. But yeah, it was funny. Whenever it was that evening or something, never put that bow down, man. I'm like this the whole time.
Yeah.
Like for an hour, I'm just holding.
He was
the
like,
bow.
dude, my biceps.
I know,
me.
my biceps.
I'm like,
is
yeah.
freaking killing me.
Yeah,
man.
don't you have a saying, always
Oh,
be
wait a minute.
ready.
Always be ready, but wait a minute. He hates curls, right?
Yeah.
I do.
Which is your bicep.
Yeah, I hate them.
I'm just saying. I mean, I talk about it all the time.
You got a
Girls.
new reason to.
Yeah,
It ain't just for the girls.
It's for the
evidently
bow.
not now. So
Yeah.
Always
See,
be
I'm
mostly
teaching
ready.
you things, Chuck.
yeah, you are.
Always, occasionally be ready.
That's right.
Yeah,
Occasionally, always be ready.
Yes.
Yeah.
but it's the truth though. I mean, it's,
And the other thing, and I told Chuck, so I guess we're going day by day. We'll fast forward a couple days maybe. Randy left. His wife is a wonderful lady, and always her birthday is the 23rd of September, which is always the week I'm out there. And she doesn't matter. She's like, go hunt, it's all good. But the last few years, Randy's like, I'm driving back home. I'm going to go take my wife out to dinner, and you stay up here and figure it out for a day or two. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Go ahead. So he did that this time, and Chuck and I went out, and I set Chuck up. We talked about the terrain of where we were hunting, and I'd hunted in there before, and so Chuck gets set up, and I start calling, and there's a kind of a hill behind me, and up on top there's a saddle. And there's a lot of rocks up there, and I start hearing just like rocks slamming, like something's coming across, and a spike runs right over top of the hill and runs right by me, and then stops. And so, I mean, I'm ready. Like when I hear the rocks, I just grab my bow and I turn around, and I'm, release is on, everything. But he runs by me, and I don't look at him. He just, and then I can hear him. He stopped. I'm like, crap. Whatever else happens, he's gonna mess it up. And so a cow comes over, and then I can still hear more elk coming, and then I see a bull, and he's pushing another cow, and then he bugles, and he's 50 yards from me. And I'm like, oh, this might happen if Reggie wasn't behind me, So the bull pushes the cow down the hill and then turns side hill, and he's like 30 now, and he's working across, and I cow call, and I'm drawn back, but I'm waiting on this guy to spook, because I can feel him looking at me like, what are you? And he's probably 10 yards. He's close. So I draw back and cow call, and he stops, but he stops behind this little tree, and then the spike spooks and runs back up the hill, and he turns to follow because he didn't know what's going on. And I cow call again. I stop him again, and he's behind another tree, and I'm just like, I'm so close to just, and I just didn't. So when they finally took off, there was probably 4 cows and a bull and then a spike. They run like where Chuck is, where I think Chuck is, and
yeah, I'm about 100 yards down the hill from him, and so there's a trail coming up, going to where he's at, and then up in the timber up there on top, there's a kind of a ridge that runs down, and they're either going to go up that ridge or they're going to go up this trail I was on, one of the two. So I couldn't split them because of the wind, but I had the wind where I was at. I'm just gambling. Okay, we'll just wait and see what happens. There's fresh tracks in the trail, but they went up that ridge, which I could hear them, but I couldn't see them. And then all of a sudden, I thought Nick had shot, or either they had winded him when they got, because the wind was, the thermals were pulling down, like thermals pulling towards me from him. Anyway, so here they come again. Sounds like I heard a buffalo coming down through there, and I never seen the bull, and I caught a glimpse of Spike. He was right on the very top, just on the edge. And then here comes a cow and a calf. They cut off and are coming right at me. And I'm like, okay. And they come down.
This will work.
Yeah. They come down. The calf hits the brakes, and the cow runs over there behind a bush and hits the brakes. And they're not far. They didn't. I mean, they literally stopped for a second, and then follow the herd on down the hill. But again, super exciting. You know, I was jacked, and we'd even been there an hour that morning.
It happened fast.
Yeah, and the plan, you know, we'd talked about the plan. We're like, well, it worked. It's just we didn't get a shot, you know. But I'm like,
so we had
this is freaking awesome.
we had a couple of days where it was just me and him. Well, it was a full day and a half. Maybe.
Yeah.
And then Randy came back up, but
Yeah.
I told him, he was like, "It's all right." It's not, because you only get so many opportunities.
Yeah, and this is something I did not realize until later in the hunt, kind of what he's talking about. The realization, you know, after basically what, a day and a half, an evening, a day, and a morning, elk encounters. Then we went 3 days.
Mm-hmm. We went a few days with no elk encounters.
Yeah, a lot of people.
And then more hunters rolled in.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bugle fest every morning.
Yeah.
And it was like hunter.
Yeah.
You know, you can. So I mean, I wasn't like bad attitude. I'm down or nothing. I was just like, dang it, because there's two. Which the first encounter I could have killed. Second encounter I wanted to kill and couldn't. You just don't get that many.
Right.
And so I know what I've done it long enough. It's like, well, that might have been my only chance, or my last chance, and it was. I mean, we got into some more elk, but I was not drawn back anymore that week. So
no, but it was dang exciting. I can tell you that right now. And again, you know, you hear them talk about I can smell elk. Well, I hadn't up to that point, but when that herd rut come by, I'm like, oh, that's the smell.
Mm-hmm.
I got it now. And but I mean, like I said, even the few days there where we had no encounters at all, you know, we were trying hard, working hard. Randy was working hard. Nick was working hard, calling. And
you're still hunting.
Yeah.
And that's fun.
yeah.
So
yeah, and the mornings actually seem more productive than the evenings. I mean, we'd go out in the evenings and you'd hear bulls, but they're already in the bottom of the drainage by the time they pipe off. You know, you can't go down there and get them.
you're fighting the clock. I mean, you can't even get down there before dark.
Yeah. So
it seems like you can. Trust me, you can't.
yeah.
The country's a lot bigger than. It's
yeah.
just right down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right down there's a long way away.
Yeah.
And it's horrible.
Yeah, and the, you know, like I said, went a few days there, hunting hard, fighting other, you know, pressure, and then we Friday morning we hit Surprise Ridge one more time with a different tactic.
Mm-hmm.
So Randy's got these things. I have yet to set in it, but it's called it's a tree hammock.
Hammock seat.
Hammock seat.
Yeah, I think that's.
And it straps to the tree, and it's literally like a mini Eno with a metal post that goes to the ground, and you just sit in it. And
It's super comfortable.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen one?
I've seen them, yeah.
Dead Ringer used to make
Yeah,
them, and that's what he had. They don't have them anymore.
yeah,
but
so we sneak into Surprise Ridge, and Randy says, I'm going up here, and I'm going to put my tree hammock on. I'm going to sit.
So let me say,
Yeah.
Randy's knees are horrible.
Yeah,
Like, he needs 2 knee replacements.
yeah.
And his heel
Yeah, he's got something up with
was
his
so
heel.
bad. Like, poor guy.
Mm-hmm.
He just like one hard day of hunting, he's got to sit out a day. Like,
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah, it's
he was
pretty
like,
rough.
I'm going to go sit in my hammock seat and I'm not moving.
Yeah, and so Nick and I, the plan, what we were going to do is go over where basically that bull come up from on me and work down that ridge on the downwind side. And it's pretty quiet this morning.
So that ridge ran and then dropped down, and there was this saddle. And then
yeah.
there was a big knob. Like looking on Onyx, you can see it, and I'm like, let's just hunt to that knob.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't been that far down that ridge,
Mm-hmm.
so we're moving along, and
Yeah.
I think I told him. I told him, I said, I'm not feeling it. There's no elk sign in here. Like we just left all the elk sign, and now we're in like.
It's like the farther we went,
it was horrible.
It's dried up. I mean, so he even mentioned. He said, "Man, it's just like effing Lolo in here," and I'm like, "Don't say that."
Yeah. Well, that was the place we went.
Yeah.
Originally.
And I said, "Well, I need to take a layer off," and he said, "Yeah, okay." So I guess you know what happens after that.
Not prepared.
Well, we weren't.
We had to take a layer off, so we dropped pack, and our bows are close. It's not like we're up there pissing 20 yards away with nothing on us, but we hear snap, crack, just coming, and like I think I just said knock an arrow.
Yeah.
So we both knocked an arrow, and the thermals were coming down. We were looking back up the hill, and here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. What is it? What is it? And this cow just pops over the top, and she's 40 yards up the hill. She's not that far.
Yeah, barely 40.
Her head looks about this long.
Huge cow.
That was the biggest cow I've ever seen in my life. And the bull bugles.
Yeah, that's when. Yeah,
So
I mean a bugle, not.
Yeah,
just
he rips one.
Yeah,
And she's kind of looking at us, but then I think she was just looking for a place.
I think she's
where she was going to go.
A lot of deadfall, right in there.
So she was looking down, and she looked here, and then and I'm like, just come on down by us, just because the bull's going to follow. She turns, goes back, and then makes a big loop around. I'm like, dang it, and I would call him a herd bull.
Mm-hmm. He had I guess he was a 5x5, maybe a 6x6.
Yeah.
But his body dwarfed his rack.
Yeah, he was just a giant.
I mean,
animal.
When he went
heavy
by,
horn, dark.
Yeah.
I don't know how many points he had.
I don't either.
But he just looked like a mature bull.
Yeah. I mean,
so,
huge. And he goes by, and they go down, and so we're just kind of waiting, let them clear a little bit. I don't know. I was so jacked. I was so pumped up, man. I'm like, God dang, it was freaking awesome.
Yeah. And so the whitetail guy and him, he's like, I bet they're bedded here or there. And I'm like, they might be.
Yeah.
Like that's
you don't know where they're going.
That's a good assumption because the knob, is north facing, and it's like, yeah, they could be. But what if they're not?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is shitty terrain to make this. If he's down there bugling in his bed, then let's go after him. But if we don't even know he's there, he could be 3 ridges over. I don't know.
Back across the road the way he came.
And Chuck's like,
but I was all gung-ho. I'm like,
you're right.
I'm like, man, and I'm just studying Onyx. I'm like, if we just drop down on the back side of this saddle, we come up, loop around on him, and Nick's like, we don't even know if he's there.
Well, that's a great plan.
But it made sense. I'm like, yeah. He said same thing. He said if he was over bugling everyone, he said we'd go after him, but we don't know if he's over there, and that's a long way. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
It's a long way, but it was hard, and it was getting harder to even get through there.
Yeah, it was thick. You couldn't have got there quiet. We're gonna spook him.
I'm like, yeah. So he is there. We can't. He's gonna hear us 3 miles away.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just gotta either figure out a different way or just back out and be like.
Or you just tell Chuck, I don't want to go up that mountain. Because that's what it was. He saw a mountain and wanted to go to climb it.
Probably so.
I was jacked up, man.
I know.
I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. He's like, oh, I'm jacked. Let's go climb the steepest shit we can find.
Yeah, but it's like, they can cover a lot of ground quick. You're just guessing where he's at.
Oh, 100%.
It's like, man.
You really are.
Yeah.
Now, and I've done that very thing. Like, I think he's here. And I've just hiked and hiked and hiked and hiked, and
just don't pan out.
Yeah, and you're like, I was dumb. I didn't really know he was here. You know, I'm exhausted.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sweating my balls.
It's kind of like chasing a turkey. Like,
Yeah.
if they're not gobbling,
Yeah, you're just
Yeah, you're
guessing.
guessing.
Like,
You're just
okay,
guessing.
let's
You're
go
just-
this
yeah.
way. Maybe he's there.
Mhm.
but yeah,
And it happened too another time,
hmm
and we heard a bugle, and it ended up we were like, well, let's go after him, but it ended up being on the other side of the road.
yeah,
We didn't realize it, and so, oh, that's what it was. We were going to go down, back up this steep thing, and then side hill around.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if the bull's over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
probably
and
hard
then he
too.
bugled again, and we're like, yeah, he's across the road. We'd have been just going on a wild goose chase over here. You know?
yeah.
I'm sure too. Like you hear a bugle, and it's like I think it's here, but it's probably deceptive. Like terrain and things.
It is.
You're
It
like,
is.
oh, he sounds so close, but like you said, he's on the other side of the road.
And then a hunter, from a pretty long distance, a hunter is pretty convincing from a long distance,
Right.
like way off. But closer, you can tell, but way off, it you're like not real sure.
Yep.
But yeah, like I said, that particular, I was just so worked up. It was fun,
And one thing that, and I even asked him we were talking about it, and I'm not an great elk hunter by any stretch of the imagination, but the few bugles that we heard close, it was almost like they were bugling just to the elk around them.
that quiet.
Like they weren't ripping, trying to get attention. And I don't know if maybe that's just what they do a lot of times, but I wonder if there was so much pressure. They still wanted to communicate, but they didn't want.
It's not like 10 out of 10. We're like,
Yeah.
let's keep this quiet.
Yeah. It was
Bugle
like,
right
half bugles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, so if you hear a half bugle, sometimes it's like, well, he's far away. Well, no, he's really not that far. So you can't just go crashing in on him because he's half the distance that you thought he was, versus one's just ripping. It's kind of like, oh, he's
Yeah.
It's just
It's a lot of fun.
figuring it out.
Figuring it out,
Goes-
Yeah, it's addictive. Ain't no lie. It's addictive.
Well, hunting in the mountains is addictive. Like it's
Yeah.
just fun. But then to go hunt for us flatlanders to go hunt an elk is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. Another highlight though, which it would cause me to lay in my bunk an extra 10 minutes or so, was Randy's alarm that went off in the morning.
That was awesome.
It was Trump.
I forgot about that.
He was like, "Okay, it's time to get up."
Time to get up. Don't hit that snooze. That snooze button's fake news.
Fake snooze.
It's fake snooze.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
I think it's what. Yeah, it's so good, man. I just lay up there and just chuckle. It's funny.
Yeah.
But food was good. Company was awesome, and we got into them. We went Saturday morning. We was gonna
Last day to
break
hunt.
camp.
Yeah, we
on
had to
Saturday,
leave.
so we thought we'd go hunt for a couple hours, and got close.
Got close again.
Yeah, we actually played off other hunters this time.
Yeah, we had a strategy of we're not even going to call.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go and set up and just be quiet.
Kind of knew this other guy where he was camping. He'd come up to our camp, chatted a little bit, so he was divulging some information. So
Nice dude.
yeah, super nice guy. But we decided to go down below, and sure enough,
It worked good.
Yeah,
We heard him bugling before daylight. We're like, that's him. And daylight came, and we start hearing at a distance just snapping, cracking. Now, there is free-ranging cattle there, so sometimes they'll fool you, but we'd hear him bugle a little bit closer, and then we'd hear the little snap crunches a little bit closer. And it was funny to watch that because that could have been you, it could have been me, and the elk know you're there. They just know you're there.
Yeah.
And they weren't spooked when they came by us. They were just staying in front of this dude. And I don't think he had a clue.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, they got close.
So there was a bull, a nice bull, and then another little raghorn and some cows in this group. And freaking just so close.
Yeah. A zig or a zag, and one of us is getting a shot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just,
Yeah. But it was a lot of fun, though.
yeah,
That's
it's
a
always fun.
good way to end a trip right there.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's not always just about the killing. It's the experience. I mean, y'all got to basically live it other than.
We did everything but kill an elk.
Right. I mean, that's just an added bonus.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the meat and everything else, but it's the experience of it. Like, that's something that you'll never forget.
No. No,
People don't understand it when you go on a trip and you come back with nothing. They're like, God, ain't that horrible?
Yeah. I
Well,
get that all the time.
I mean,
I know.
I do too, especially when I go west.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
But
like,
it's like,
you didn't get anything?
right. I mean,
No?
I ain't going to go.
Now you get a lot. That's
Yeah,
that's what people don't understand.
that's right.
Yeah,
That's
it's like, no, I didn't come back with an animal, but let me tell you what I did do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It was successful.
yeah, exactly.
Well, and they don't even get that.
Right.
So
No, I mean, whether it's elk camp or deer camp or duck camp or whatever it is.
Well, the deer ain't the same way. When I go, I better kill something.
you get angry.
yeah, he gets
I
grumpy, dude.
I
get
came
angry.
home madder than hell that I didn't kill something.
He gets mad at me, and I'm like, I didn't do anything. Why didn't you? I'm like, let me do my thing, dude.
I'm like, he had 16 deer in front of him. I'm like, why didn't you shoot one of them?
Hey,
Chasing the buck, brother.
that's his hunt.
That's thank you. Let me hunt my
You
hunt.
said after the fact you regretted it.
That never left my mouth.
It did.
No.
That's what Jason heard.
Yeah.
Even Cannon said yes.
I will say, I was texting him. I'm like, dude, this
Thing
is so
is,
hard.
he's never hunted up there with us in West Virginia. So why? I mean,
Well, that's
just break the ice.
that's
our
the other
first
thing.
trip.
It's my first trip onto that property. And I'm like, let me feel this out.
You don't
know?
just go whacking stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back with 16 deer.
Dear God, dear God, Ren will go whack whatever.
Yeah. Little do I know, everybody
Guys,
else
I
kills
need some
everything.
tags.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, I'm tagged out for 6 years. So.
We kill everything up there.
I want to know how it went with the dog.
Dude,
Believe it or not,
It
that
was a
dog
bunch of
freaking-
hype, wasn't it?
oh,
No.
yeah, total hype.
man.
So he
I
didn't
show up.
He didn't rip your face off.
No, show up,
I know you like Brandon.
love me. But
We told
What's
Brandon.
not the love?
Well, no, we told him what to do. We were like, either grab his ball and throw him that
His balls?
ball.
or grab his balls or grab the ball.
I got it.
Yeah.
But you better kiss his butt is what you better do. And don't get in between him and his mama. That's the key. That's the key.
Check.
Don't get between him and his mama. Like, I don't,
I'm Brandon, Mama. You just stay right there.
he loves me. Like, he'll come lay his head on my lap, but I still wouldn't get in between him and her. Ain't no way.
You
I
said
did.
it was a Belgian Malinois. Yeah.
I got between both of them several times. Going into the house, he would be laying by the door. I'd just step over him, go talk to her. Super chill. It was a bunch of hype.
That was a bunch of hype.
That ain't a bunch
I
of
thought it was.
But
Even
the first,
they've warned you.
oh, they did. But the first thing I did,
There's a sign. They put a sign up. So this is an apple orchard. So people just randomly, and I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere, right?
it reminds me of like back home.
Yeah. Well,
It does.
yeah.
But yes,
So-
middle of nowhere.
There's this, basically it's like a mile down their driveway, which is a creek. And so they put a sign up that says, what did it say? It
I
said,
don't know. I was trying to think of it.
honk horn, or no, what did it say? God. It said something like, do not get out of car.
Talking about the dog. If the
Yeah.
dog's around.
It's
I'll have
literally
to-
a sign at the front of it.
I got to text
It's all hype.
Thomas. But yeah, anyway.
Well, no, it ain't hype. Because, I mean,
No, I could see how that dog could be a problem.
so he don't like wheels. So they like the dad will go ride his 4-wheeler, and that dog is literally biting the tires the entire time.
Yeah.
Like like all the way up the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
We come up on the bicycles, and that dog is losing it. And I was like, "Oh, I'm stopping right here.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going any further." But there was I can't remember what that sign said, but Brandon read it like the wrong way.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
Yeah, they've got an invisible fence for the dog, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get the ball.
Oh, that's what it was.
And we're gonna be cool. I didn't know there's an invisible fence, so I chucked the ball the
Outside
wrong way.
He threw it straight
And the dog,
out in
runs
the
and
front
stops,
yard.
looks at me like, you
And that
moron.
dog stopped and looked
You
at
son
him.
of a.
And I went, "Oh, dude, he can't run that
Yeah,
far."
I was like,
Brandon was like, "Oh shit!"
Dang it. But after that, we were cool. But yeah, total hype. But
Yeah.
It ain't total.
That's funny.
yeah, we'll probably hash out our West Virginia trip maybe on the next episode or something. But it was a good time.
Well, good deal.
But
It was okay.
I'm glad.
I didn't kill anything, so
Oh, get over it, Jason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
it's not for not wanting to. They were weird.
You're weird.
If you'd have seen 15, 16 deer, 15 would have.
I saw 5 at a
Probably
time.
14 would have left.
Well, yeah. I mean, look.
You know they would.
I go up there
You'd
and
be
shoot stuff.
flinging some mega meats, man.
I go up
Yeah,
there
it
and
was
shoot
tough,
things.
man. I was really having. I was gonna say I was texting Cannon. He told me for a while. He's like, "Man, just don't be picky. You do this all the time. Just shoot something." And
You know how you are, Dad.
yeah, exactly. And I was texting him. I sent him a bunch of videos.
Shut up, boy.
And he's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Man, I can't do it. I just saw a buck that I want to go after." He said, "Okay." Left it.
Was
at
it a
that.
good buck?
Oh yeah, 8 wide. I saw him. I don't even know if we need to even get into it, but I saw him twice, dude. When we hunted that afternoon, we got there, right?
We didn't hunt. We just went and hung.
That's right. Then
I
we went
took
in
you
that
down
morning.
there and put you in the spot you were in so that.
Oh, here we go.
Anyway,
No, I did. I mean,
well, the first morning. Oh, it was the first morning. All these deer come in, and I'm like, dude, it's so early. Maybe something else will come in.
Yeah.
That was probably my first mistake. I should have just shot
So
early.
early in the morning or early
Early
in
in
the
the morning.
hunt?
Yeah, both.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know what else is
I know,
coming
yeah.
out. You know,
Yeah.
it's the classic case of what's
Yeah.
over the next ridge or what's coming.
well,
next.
here's the funny part.
Yep.
So we get there that afternoon and we go down to that part. I said, we need to go there first because it's going to get dark on us. I said, we need to see that spot. We roll up right to the edge of the field and there's 2 deer standing I drove all the way up on them and I was like, what'd I tell you?
Yeah, it drops off this roadbed like where you can't see if you're
What
above
did I
it.
tell you?
As soon as you
I mean, for real, it was like, what?
soon as you crest over it, there's 2 deer standing there. And he's like, I told you. I said, okay.
So then we go in there and put it all up and then coming back out, more deer.
More deer, yeah.
Like, still there. It's like,
It's weird. Anytime I go out of state to hunt too, I'm like, man, why don't deer act like this at home? I always think that. And I'm like, it just spoils me. It makes hunting here.
suck.
It doesn't suck. It's just,
It's different.
yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
They're so cracked out here. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
But we'll go over, we'll hash that one out when Ren's back in town and
Yeah.
can give his
I'd rather not. I mean, hear about all this
Yeah.
crap.
Maybe you'll be in a better mood
I don't know.
next episode.
Yeah, maybe. I hunted.
I
in-
mean, you yawned the whole time we were talking about our
look,
elk,
dude.
so
It has been.
I'm sorry we bored you.
No, it has
I
been.
loved it. I was engaged the whole
I'm
time.
kidding. I'm kidding.
I still haven't recovered from Monday night. So, and
What happened?
Oh yeah, the
that
concert.
concert.
Oh, yeah.
Got home at 2:00 in the morning.
Too old for that.
I'm
I
telling
can't, I
you.
can't do it either.
Yeah.
Then getting up this morning, going working out.
That dude, I was just sitting here thinking on the flight home, we go to the Boise airport. It's not a big airport like you'd think. I mean, there's 1 million people in the area and it's just, they're adding on, but it's not a big airport. We'd done flown out there on
Oh yeah, Delta.
Delta Airlines.
Yeah.
And we got the same stuff going back.
And I've traveled with this rig for years
And this is just
on Delta.
if you can just picture this fella behind the counter.
He was gay. I'll just go ahead and say it.
Okay. I've pictured it.
It was just funny.
I've pictured it.
Little vest on, you know. He's not little, but little vest on, you know, his little name tag. And, well, he starts giving Nick a hard time about his bow case.
So I don't have TSA locks.
But
I
you got
have
2 master locks.
2 master locks.
And
there's 4 places, 4 padlocks or whatever. But I have 2. And I've done it for years. And he's like, you need 4 locks. No, I don't. He says, yes, you do.
And I'm kind of like, have you ever seen that Seinfeld episode where Jerry's renting a car, where he's reserved the car, and the lady's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, we don't have your car," and he's like, "Well, what's the point of having a reservation?" And Elaine's just standing there going back and forth.
Yeah.
That was me. I'm like, I'm just like looking, I'm like,
Chuck's enjoying it.
Yeah, he was.
No, I mean, I know where this is going.
Yeah, he knew where it was
I
going.
didn't know what the dude's problem was, but it was just something like.
So he's like, you need it. It's got 4 places for locks, and you need 4 locks. No, I don't. Yes, you do.
I mean,
I said, buddy, I flew out here, last week on Delta, and that's what he said. This is not a TSA rule. This is a Delta rule. I said, well, you better get your shit straight, because I've been flying Delta for years, and it's never an issue. And so he says, well, that's our rule. I said, I don't think it is. Amanda, he's hollering. This gentleman doesn't think I know the rule. Oh, I'm gonna punch this motherfucker. So he gets her over there, and she's a little more cordial. She's like, well, did you fly out here? I said, yeah, I did. On Delta, yeah. Well, that is our rule. I said, well, it's not today. 'Cause I don't have another lot,
He's like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. This is what I got, and I'm going home with it.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of mouthing off again, and I said, what's your problem? This is not even firearms. This is archery equipment. And he went, oh, those aren't guns? I said, no. Guess you should have asked me that before you went into all this bullshit.
So funny.
We got free baggage, didn't we?
Oh, and he
was like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, God,
you could tell
I was so mad
that he was devastated for losing the battle.
Right.
I mean, like
he's like, well, then you only
Yeah.
need 2 locks.
Yeah. I mean, if you'd just heard his tone and when he got so deflated, but little credit, he
He
said-
made it.
He did. He made it
did what he
right.
could to me. He
And
said,
he kept
I'm
it-
not going to charge you for your check bags. I'm like, appreciate it.
And he
Of course,
kept
I was a real dick the rest of the time.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I won this battle.
It was just, I don't know. I just that picture, that Seinfeld episode is in my head, and I'm just going back and forth, just back and forth. It was good. It was so good, man.
We made it home.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then we get on the plane, and I'm in the center seat. Nick's in the center seat behind me, and I'm sitting beside Miss Daisy, and Guido over here. I don't know what he is, but
Guido.
yeah. I mean, this little old lady sitting beside me. She's got the wind, and she can't make up her mind. She wants it up or down or halfway or quarter open or whatever. And all of a sudden, I hear this snoring. I mean, we literally just sat down. People still walking by. Just snoring. I'm like, what the frick?
I got a 600-pounder beside
And
me.
I looked through the crack.
And
And there's
his
a
belly,
dude.
Brandon, his belly is rolled over the armrest. So I have no armrest.
Yeah, you're just like tucked in. Yeah.
This
And
is after.
This is our long flight from Boise to
4
Atlanta,
hours.
and I was like this the entire time. I'm like,
Man.
And he is.
It's bad.
I mean, he like went out.
Yeah.
Like, he was out just sawing logs, and I took my phone and went up like this. And Nick's just sitting there with his eyes shut, and I'm like, he's probably just cussing like a mother. And I snapped the picture. Dude.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The guy behind the desk probably put you in that seat.
He
was
probably
like,
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
get
Probably
you.
did.
You might have won that battle, but I'll win the war.
See ya. Have a nice flight.
Have a
Yeah.
nice flight.
Yeah, but anyway, It was a long night, but we made it. It was
Yeah,
a
it
good
was
time.
good.
Really good time.
Well, man, I'm glad y'all got to go. That's
Yeah.
cool. That
Beautiful country, man.
Yeah. If anybody is ever thinking about going, go.
Yeah.
You won't regret it.
we're thinking about going, ain't we?
Jason.
I mean,
Brandon.
Yeah.
I wanna go.
Make it happen.
It's more of a financial thing for me.
It's not for
No,
me.
I get it.
Yeah.
Mine's this place.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
time and money. I mean, that's the two big things. And
well, I'll tell you this, and you're right in both accounts there. So that's, like I'll have to wait, save up another year, and then be able to hopefully go the next year. Randy will have me back out, and but the one thing, and I'm talking to you mainly, the one thing you got to put in perspective is you only get so many Septembers,
Yep.
and that don't mean you got to go every year, but you got to say, you know what, I'm going to take 10 days and I'm going to go whatever, 2025.
I'll figure out what I have to do here,
Right.
to be able to, be
Well,
able
and
to go.
I mean, I'm at that point. Like he and I have talked about it numerous times that I'm at that point.
I'm just
Like
saying,
I just, if I don't, I'm not going to have any sanity.
well,
Yeah.
it's like I said, I kept putting it off. Nick's asked me several times, and I just kept putting it off. And finally, and I'm in the furniture business, and it's, it's tough time of year to try to get off. Furniture market is, next month. All of my work is in preparation for the actual market. I have customers that depend on me, and some circumstances happened a few years ago, and I realized, you know what? It don't matter how freaking hard you work, how well you take care of them customers. They don't give a crap.
They don't.
They don't. They'll tell you, we really appreciate you. I got told that today, and I believe them. I really believe them. But when it gets tight, something hits the fan or whatever, you'll find out real quick that
that loyalty is gone.
that loyalty. And I'm like, when that happened to me a few years ago, I'm like, you know what? I'm not waiting anymore. I've got the vacation. My boss man approved it. They don't like it. They got bigger problems if they can't deal without me for a week. So didn't regret it. Didn't regret it this time.
Right.
And
Your plant, your business didn't shut down. Your shop,
It could shut down,
it won't.
but
no,
it won't.
It
I
won't.
mean, that's what I'm.
More of it too,
I
I
have
think,
to
for you is
realize.
like the guilt that you feel like I can't be here. That's what I think. Like, I think you're probably the same. Like, man, I'm not there. I should be there.
oh, trust me. I mean, I feel.
Oh, I'm sure.
I didn't this time.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. And I'll say this though, and this is something you too. The people at my plant, they took care of me. They did an excellent job while I was gone. We got the best crew at my plant right now that we've had since I've been there, and they took the worry off of me and handled it. And what didn't get handled, I handled when I got back. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Nothing burnt down, nothing went crazy, and you just got to look at it that way.
Yeah. You said it right. Like, only having so many Septembers.
And that's the
and
truth,
That's about everything, man. Like,
100%.
just go after what you want to do.
Yeah, if there's something you want to do, don't wait. Just go do it.
Nope, because you never know.
Well, I'm at that point.
Well.
That's why we're going back to Ohio.
Go book it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I keep saying.
Go book it.
We got to book something.
All we got to do is
Yeah.
book it.
Yeah, that's not something like you can dial up for next month. You got to start in advance.
Ohio's fine. You're good.
Oh.
Chill.
I was like,
No,
He's
I'm
talking about
talking
elk.
about elk.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
But anywho,
Yeah.
All right.
it was
Well,
awesome.
Thank you to Grizzly
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks
for
Grizzly.
the armrest.
This is me permanently. Like,
Yeah.
every time I have to edit this daggone podcast, I'm like, why is my arm up there? I can't fix it. So
We
it's
love
going to
our
be here.
Grizzly Coolers.
I do love
That's
it.
comfy.
Yeah.
It is. Perfect armrest. Perfect to keep your beverages cold.
Mm-hmm.
Great cups.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I spilled it. Grizzly didn't.
That's right.
So,
Grizzly Coolers,
Yeah.
Matthews.
Yeah,
Ultra
we
Arrows.
do want to thank our
yeah,
sponsors.
roll through them.
So we got Grizzly Coolers, Mathews Archery, ElimiShield, Klean Freek,
Yep.
Altra,
and 4-range hanging systems.
There she sits.
I had some Klean Freek while I was out in Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
Liked it.
I've become a big fan.
I am too. I'm gonna take them with me this
I
weekend.
made so much fun of Ren for it, but now I'm like,
No,
They're
it's
nice.
it's
You
it
can,
is
still, you can
great.
still make fun
it
of.
stays like
They're nice.
I have them with me all the time now.
They're real nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
I
just-
don't want to hear about your Klean Freek.
Get you some Klean Freek.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you want to talk about the bow situation?
So yeah, so we've put a video up talking about the giveaway bow that we'd originally said, and how now we're doing. I wouldn't really call it a raffle. We're doing a donation to give away the bow for our people in Western North Carolina that went through a horrible tragedy, and so many of them are hurting and everything else. So,
and will be for a while.
Yeah, a long time.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
and obviously we from Fuel Outdoor Gear are going to add to it, and we're going to give a free bridge lock stabilizer.
And I think that we could probably continue to make the package bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
With some of it, Full Range will do something.
yeah.
I mean, seriously. So
Yeah.
so
to me,
stay tuned and keep watching. Like the,
Yeah.
the whole package might get bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it's about raising as much money as we can
Yeah.
to give back, and because we're all
We're very fortunate and blessed right here.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So it's our way of helping out and giving back. So
Yeah. So we're selling entries. Like you can
Yeah, so-
enter the win.
yeah,
the
and
bow.
it's all done through FuelOutdoorGear.com.
Yep.
And
So
100% of the proceeds, correct?
yep, 100%
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
the proceeds.
Yeah. We're not
Yeah,
skin and shed, Fuel Outdoor Gear. Nobody's keeping
Yeah,
anything.
we don't keep nothing. I mean, it is 100%. I would like to give a huge shout out to Mountain Ops.
I was about to say. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mountain Ops considers Fuel Outdoor Gear a partner of theirs. They call it a community, and I feel it now.
That was pretty cool.
They reached out to us knowing that we're in North Carolina and basically said, is there anything we can do? And we're like, well, I mean, we're, going to take some stuff to a local farm that's, sending stuff up towards the mountains and stuff. And they said, we'll send you a package, and you can donate it in our behalf or whatever. And, I didn't know what to expect. And the next thing I know, I mean, I get an email that they're sending us 500 protein bars, which is
Which is
insane.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
like, I mean,
That's awesome.
I was blown away by it. They're a phenomenal company, and I consider them a partner, even though we're, not a partner in the podcast, but they're a partner of mine through the shop.
Sure,
And,
yeah.
I've always been a big fan of theirs, but
Yeah.
but that just makes it that much better.
Yeah, it does speak volumes for
It does.
where their heart's at. So that's
It does.
that's pretty cool.
Yep.
So-
Thank you, Mountain Ops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huge
So
shout
yeah,
out
so
to
once
them.
once all the info's up, like you said, go to fueloutdoorgear.com and check out.
So all
the
of it will be
giveaway.
up before this podcast comes out.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have it up and running, but we haven't quite decided how long we're going to let it run for yet, but we want to try and get as much as we can.
Raise as much money as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So-
mainly, we kind of wanted to say that, like, it started out as a giveaway, and those circumstances changed, and I know everybody's going to understand that, but it's a big deal to us.
Yeah.
We talked about it as a group, like, man, let's do something. You
Yeah.
know?
And it's a small
Yeah,
part
it is. It
help, but they're like Chuck said, they're going to need help for
a long
long
time.
time.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a little something we can do. So
Absolutely.
help us out.
All right.
So, Chuck,
Mhm.
what does everybody need to do?
Well, first of all, keep an eye out on fuel. Outdoorgear.com.
There you go.
Correct.
There you go.
There you go. Got it. Look out for the bow sign up, raffle, giveaway.
He's getting there.
Trying to
folks.
think of
Thing,
yeah,
the bow thing.
the benefit and spend some money. spend some money on it.
Yeah, it's going to a
they
good
need
cause.
it.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
If you can go out here and spend $7-8 on one of them freaking Starbucks, you can spend plenty on a ticket. Might help somebody out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, second thing, as normal,
Oh, you did get there. Okay.
Yeah. give a hoot, don't pollute.
That's right.
I was wondering.
Pack it in, pack it out. And if you got trash in the back of your pickup truck and you ain't got a cover on it, get the trash out before you take off down the road at 75 miles an hour. And another one I got to add real quick. I'm not going to give exact location, but somewhere between Archdale and Cedar Square. Stop throwing your bootlegger bottles out the window before you get home. You know who you are. Cut it out.
Why is he looking at me?
I know.
Well,
You look right at me.
You spilled your
You don't
Grizzly
live
Cup
down
over
there.
there a while
I
ago,
don't-
but
I
I'm
don't make
just
it that
saying,
far.
I'm getting dang tired. He throws them in the same spot, like when I ain't gonna tell you where, but I pick up trash. You know, I don't do it every day, but once a week, once every 2 weeks, I'll walk the road and pick up some trash. And it's like they make the turn before they get home to mama. They got to
Chuck
fling
it.
that bootlegger out the window. It's crazy. You know who you are.
This is
Stop it.
This is getting
Anyway,
serious.
getting around,
getting mad.
get me all wound up.
Oh God.
Well, yeah, please pick it up. 'Cause,
And he likes 3 different flavors too.
well,
I ain't
Could
never
be a
had one.
she.
Have you tasted them?
Could be a she. I ain't think. I guess if you're drinking one, then you probably are a she.
Bootlegger. Okay. Yeah.
It's a
Pick
malt
up the
beverage.
Anyway.
bootlegger, please.
Anyway.
please pick it up.
Just don't throw your trash out. Take it home with you.
All right.
Yep.
Anyway,
Okay.
That's it, folks.
amen.
That's it.
Like, subscribe, share, all the things. Listen, do all that crap. We love you guys. See you on the next one.
Yep.
Peace out.
Adios.
See ya.
Peace.